Hello everyone, this is my new 2022 Lowrider S in the Gunship Gray. I just traded the 2020 Street Bob for it. I want to do a quick walk around of it, some of the features, some of the differences between the 2021 models and the 2022 models that I remember. Yeah, I love this Gunship Gray color. It looks great. The bronze wheels look great on this lowrider. I actually already ordered from Harley the Dominion mirrors, foot pegs, pretty much all the Dominion parts, and I'm actually switching these levers for Lucky Speed Shop bronze levers. Once I get all the Dominion parts in, I actually have it right over here. I'm gonna get those installed once I get all the other parts, so I can just take everything apart at the same time. Hand grips, mirrors, foot pegs, all that. So some of the biggest difference, I'd say, the main difference is this 117 cubic inch motor that they put on here now with the heavy air breather. It's very powerful, and on top of that, I've already, as you noticed, have a custom exhaust on there. So not the stock exhaust. The stock one was I'd say a little bit underwhelming in terms of sound and power, so I have that on there. I also have a Reaper 468 cam, so that sounds really great, and we'll do a little startup earlier. And one other change that's very obvious right now is I already changed out the Saddlemen seat. On my test ride later, I'll go over a little bit more how it felt with the stock seat and the mid controls. I'm not that tall, but I have very long legs. I'm about 5'10", but my legs, very long, short torso. The mid controls with the stock seat was causing me a lot of issues, but with that Saddlemen, it feels great. So as you see in the front, it has this little bikini fairing. Doesn't do much other than for looks. But I think it looks good. I might, change that for something later if I do end up going on longer trips. Of course, I use the Road Glide that you might not be able to see because it's dark in my garage, but I use that for my longer trips much more. Another main change that everyone has focused on is the gauge cluster here. It's no longer on the tank here. They kind of replaced it with this FXLRS logo and kind of this like crumpled black centerpiece. I think it looks really good, but now the gauge is up here with a little visual part at the bottom there where you can see, you can scroll through different things with this button here to see RPMs even, which is weird because you have RPMs already right here. Of course, your speedometer is digital, and on there you can see the time, mileage left, everything like that. So other than that, this is what the bike looks like in the Gunship Gray. It took me a while to find it, but now that I did, I'm really glad that I got it in this color. A couple other changes I made, of course, I switched these out just for some cheap Amazon LED lights, and they actually look really good, which I'll show you here now. So if I let me just turn the hazards on, so you can see the fronts are actually running lights with that ring. So they transition, and then these are just much brighter than the stock halogen lights, so I think that looks good. Yeah, can't really think of much else to talk about other than how great the bike feels. It's very peppy, especially with the for now I did the Harley tune on it, the Screaming Eagle tuner, but I think I will upgrade my tune to a Power Vision here in a little bit. My dealership has been very lenient with me and allowed me to my bike is still covered under warranty, and I made them kind of put that in writing, even with the Bassani Road Rage that I have on here, the 2-in-1. So it's still under warranty as long as I keep that Harley Screaming Eagle Street tuner. But because it doesn't feel as great as I wanted to, I may just switch it out anyway and kind of forget the warranty, but we'll see how that goes. I have my dyno sheet inside, which I'll show you guys in a little bit here after we do the startup. y'all can see this okay. Not the greatest numbers. I don't know, my camera's kind of doing a weird shifting thing here. But the numbers are good, but I'd say not the greatest curve. You kind of see my torque curve really falls off, but I'm getting 113 horsepower at 5.4, and peak torque is at 129.23, and that's around at around 3 3/4. So you can see right around there. But I do have that typical drop off in the beginning, and then a pretty drastic drop off, which is why I kind of want to go with a Power Vision 2 and see if I can get this torque curve to perform a little bit better. All right, let's go. All right, so like I mentioned, you can see my knees are pretty high up even with this step up seat, but it still feels pretty good. Another thing I've been contemplating is maybe getting some risers, and that might be just because I got used to the way my you know, my 14-inch factory 47s and my road glide feel. But we'll see if this continues to feel okay. But I really do like it. Let me see, mileage wise, I think I'm at 450 now, so I'm about to ride about 120 miles now. So I'll be hitting my over 500 obviously now, so we'll see how that goes. Super smooth, feels really good. I think for sure the Bassani road rage is the way to go if y'all are usually switching out your exhaust too on your new bikes. I had the Vans and Hines short shots on my street bob. Again, the rear brake here is very, very weak, just like with pretty much every other Harley. But this feels just really good. I mean, just for some pickup here, feels good. Unfortunately, there's a car in front of me, so won't be able to go kind of show you exactly how it pulls, but it is an amazing ride. Really easy to kind of just push around and be nimble. As you can see, I can kind of get it to like lean and turn pretty easily. Without the fairing, you do get a lot of wind on your chest. You get a lot of wind kind of hitting the helmet here as well too. So we'll kind of you get kind of used to that. If I'm sure if those of you who already ride like non-fairing bikes are used to that. For me, it's a little bit different. I got used to the road glide, and even my street bob, I put a Road Warrior on there and kind of took it for granted how much wind I was actually deflecting with that. Looks like someone spilled a bunch of oil over here. Yeah, pretty tight corner here, and you can see it really easy to just kind of lean into it and go while I'm trying to avoid all this oil that's on the ground or whatever that is. Yeah, like I said, the fairing virtually does nothing. I love having this right here. I couldn't imagine having to look down and see all that. Now it's within like my line of sight. I can see my RPMs and my speed and everything else. I think the really unfortunate time to be out here behind a school bus. Well, I'll be getting on some better roads here shortly. Oh, another thing I didn't mention on the walk around earlier that I meant to mention is the 2021 and previous models didn't have the same rear suspension this one has. So this has the higher suspension height, Makes it a little bit better, more of a lean angle. I don't know the exact numbers, but it does help with that. But other than that, I mean, I never rode a 2021 or previous model Lowrider S, but this one I think is just a phenomenal bike. So glad I went with this. You know, got a good amount of money for my street bob because of how much used bikes are worth right now, so was able to get me into a brand new Lowrider S. And I test rode it one stock, and even that felt really good. But with this, with the tune, the cam, and the exhaust, it's amazing. Definitely don't need a new air breather because we have that. I know some people have mentioned that getting in the way, with the air breather getting in the way, especially if they do with forward controls. I wouldn't go forward controls. I don't think it's necessary, but with the mid controls, I don't even notice it. I also had I had a Arleness Monster air sucker on my street bob, so I got used to having the 90-degree air cleaner sticking out. I think I will stop to get to fuel up really quick. $11 and I had virtually a full tank. Crazy. All right, excited to take it out on the interstate. There's a cop right there, but that is okay. Is this thing still going? Still going. All right. There's actually a huge sinkhole that collapsed over there. That's why I had to go like in a big ass circle to get here, because I actually live kind of like right there, but had to go like in a big ass circle to get here, to get past that sinkhole that's over there. Pretty crazy. So can't go over there right now. Yeah, I'm going from a part of Maryland right by West Virginia all the way into Leesburg, Virginia. It's not that long, we're at about a little bit less than an hour with no traffic. But once I get off the interstate, I'll be on these beautiful country roads, and it'll be a lot of fun. If this light ever turns green for me. You know how these sensors are with these bikes sometimes. Had to trick it a little bit. Yeah, like even getting into this corner, Feels good. Pickup is really quick, easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah, like I mentioned, the wind is different than what I'm used to. As you see my quad lock right here, I took the one I had off my street bob and put it on here, and I think I didn't set it properly, but with all the wind one time, I was actually wrecked. You see this guy here? You probably can't tell with the camera, but this dude is all up on my shit, man. Like, nearly running into me. Fucking idiot, man. But yeah, like I was saying, I was on this interstate on my street on this bike when I first got it with my other quad lock on there, and the wind just knocks it down and it starts to fly off. I somehow catch it. I catch it and my phone. Oh my god, people are driving like maniacs right now. I never get on the road at this time, but this time I did, unfortunately. But anyway, my phone is flying in the air, and I catch it. And I never had that issue on my street bob. I'm hoping they sent me a new one under warranty, so I think they're a great company. Just the fact that they did that. So I have a brand new one. It seems to be holding really well. I got it to about like 70, 80 just now, and I didn't see it kind of faltering like I started to notice last time when I had to catch it in air. So, but yeah, with the fairing on my street bob, I never even thought twice about my phone being kind of up there like that, getting beat up by the wind. Oh my gosh, man. But yeah, you gotta pay attention to these people. They'll be all over the place, not even looking at you, man. Like, I made some videos about it on what I do to make sure that, you know, these people aren't running into me. But most of these drivers, they don't think. And I know it's like, oh, you know, you're a driver too, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm thinking. Like, I have never even come close to hitting a motorcyclist. I pay attention. Like, I always think, like, if there's a rider around, I'm gonna want to see him. When the weather's nice like this, I'm thinking about it. But just in general, I'm thinking. And I'm really in the cars too. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of different cars. Like, most recent kind of car that I just sold for a more family-based car was my 2018 Mustang GT. You know, even with that, no accidents, not even a speeding ticket. And it's not like I don't ever drive fast, but I do things with thinking a little bit. I don't just do random shit where you might like end up driving horribly. You gotta think, you always gotta be aware. So anyway, but yeah, this video is not about that. It's about this lowrider. But yeah, I'd say a couple of negative things was that stock seat. The Saddlemen's way better. Another thing too is the stock exhaust, very underwhelming, but now it's great. And then of course all the wind that kind of hits you, but having no fairing if you're not used to that. But you know, after 450 miles, I'd say I'm pretty used to it now. But yeah, look how beautiful this ride is. Perfect time to take the lowrider out. With the stock seat, I was actually getting a pain in my hip, like right here. You probably can't see where I'm pointing, but like right on my right side of my hip, I was getting a pain. But now I'm not feeling it because I'm a little bit further back. My legs aren't as like pushed up into my body as they were with my stock seat. I demo rode the Harley Tallboy. That helped as well too. But the only thing is, it really put me in like where I had to lean forward to grab these bars. So I can't imagine if I was any taller, how that would feel comfortable. Then you gotta like crouch over, almost like you're on a sports bike to grab these handlebars with that Harley Tallboy seat. So I'm not going with that. But yeah, I mentioned it a bit earlier. I bought all the Dominion parts: mirrors, foot pegs, hand grips, bronze colored. and then I went. Then I ordered off of Lucky Speed Shop. I got this shorty bronze. I'm gonna throw all those on once I receive it all, and then I might make an install video, but I know it's gonna be me fumbling around a lot, so I might not. But I'll for sure do a review on the look of the bike and how it is with the short levers. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Lucky Speed Shop, so looking forward to that. Yeah, this feels great. I haven't used this camera mounted on my helmet in a while, so I hope it looks good. I mean, I have to admit, you probably noticed I've been super lazy on my YouTube channel, but getting this bike again has kind of reinvigorated me to make a video. So hopefully y'all can enjoy this. But yeah, I think everything about this bike is perfect. You know, with my road glide for my longer trips. Like I did a 140-mile trip yesterday on the road glide, amazing. But then I get this for my shorter trips, like within the local area, and it feels really good. Like I think it's a really good duo to have. That, you know, each of them has their purpose. You know. I just remembered this road was under construction like last week. I hope it's finished because y'all are probably like me. I hate riding on those grooved roads when they're under construction. So hopefully that's fixed already. This dude, I didn't even notice he was using his windshield wipers, and I opened my visor to scratch my nose just now. I just got a bunch of windshield wiper fluid on my back. I would never use my windshield wipers fluid if there was a freaking bike behind me, unless it's like absolutely necessary. Dude just got windshield wiper fluid all over me. I don't even care. People are weird. Yeah, look at this view. It's just beautiful. Like to be able to get on this low rider and do this. So if you're on the fence about getting this bike and you have the financial means to do so, you should do it. There is zero regret about getting rid of that 2020 107 Street Bob for this 117 Lowrider S. I'm so glad they put the 117 on here on such a light bike compared to the CVOs. I do wish this road was a little bit less crowded, but that is okay. Still a nice little ride. Actually, through here, going through a little town, and then I'm back into a bunch more country roads. Tiny little town in the middle of nowhere with one stoplight, and it's right here. Bro. I was hoping it would turn green before I get here. They wouldn't have to stop, but I gotta stop. Yeah, I really do like these the LED, those little Amazon LED lights I got. The running light, the ring looks really good. A little running light ring on it matches the stock headlight so well, which now has a LED ring light also. I'm glad they started putting some LED lights stock on these Harleys. It's really nice. Yeah. So yeah, really nice little road. This bike handles perfectly for something like this. Probably not the most ideal for long highway rides, but a ride like this, it's perfect. If I didn't leave like during rush hour, this would be a lot better. I know to a lot of you this doesn't seem like rush hour, but it doesn't seem like rush hour to me either, because where I live is much busier, and especially once you get into like DC and everything, which I live outside of DC, there's even more traffic, and you get kind of used to it. So I always get worried when I have to stop quickly like that, when it's a 2-lane road like this, because if the vehicle behind me is following too close, I don't have a lot of places to go. I could have gone off to the right there. I hate hitting those rumble strips, but I would have done it if I was keeping an eye on him when he was coming at me. But oh yeah, it's really a great bike. I think it handles great. I changed the suspension on my Road Glide, of course. The stock suspension was so horrible. I went with the Legends front, the Legend Axio front, and then the Legend Arc, Revo Arc rears. And now the Road Glide, it feels like it's on rails now. But the stock suspension on this, I know a lot of people talk crap about Harley stock suspensions. That's one thing I'm not going to change. The seat, the exhaust, yes, change them. The turn signals, the rear lights, change those. You know, the halogen. But I think they got it right with this suspension. It's feeling pretty good. Handles really well. Let's see. Much easier to handle this bike than my Road Glide, even with the suspension of my Road Glide. So I just took an advanced rider's course on my Road Glide. It was a lot of fun. I took my bags off, and thankfully I did, because I dropped the bike, but it was actually right before the class started. It was my fault. I was pulling into the parking lot where we're staging our bikes, and at that moment I got a call coming in, and I looked down for too long to see who was calling. I looked back up and I'm like already like rolling into these bikes in front of me, so I just grabbed a handful of brake and dropped the bike. No damage at all, thankfully. It was a very light drop. I was going like 2 miles an hour, but I still panicked when I grabbed those brakes. I was probably going closer to like 8 miles an hour, but still, I panicked, grabbed the brakes, dropped it. During the class, didn't drop it at all. I saw out of like I think there was like 12, 13 other riders, they were dropping the bikes left and right, especially on the figure 8 parts and the decreasing radius circles. That was a lot of fun. But thankfully I didn't drop my bike. So I signed up for the class again with this bike, and I'm gonna hopefully be able to do really well with that. But I've already noticed doing U-turns and everything on this bike way easier. I struggle getting like a 25-foot U-turn on my Road Glide. On this bike I've pulled out, every once in a while I've pulled out some really decent like 18, 19-foot U-turns, which I've been proud of. So I'm looking forward to taking the class and seeing what that advanced riders class feels like on this bike. And that's the end of next month. But handling wise, the reason I wanted to sign up, I wanted to see like the capabilities of this bike. I don't know, I don't have a crash bar on this. Harley makes a crash bar now that I was thinking about getting, so I might do that. I don't know yet though. I am kind of wary about taking a class with no crash bars. I mean, the crash bar saved my Road Glide from having any damage. It was definitely worth it. I think the only thing that got damaged is a little bit of scuffing on my crash bar. That's about it. So if y'all have any opinions on what a Lowrider S looks like with some crash bars, let me know, because I might get them. I know the one Harley makes looks a lot like those bunking crash bars, so I might do that. So I hope this quick video was enjoyable to y'all. Please, if you haven't already, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you can, that'd be nice. And maybe I can get more inspired to get a little more active on my YouTube thing. But I appreciate y'all. So if you have any questions about the Lowrider, comment that as well too. Alright y'all, I hope this video was helpful, as sporadic and crazy as it was. But again, thanks for watching. God bless. Thanks y'all.